Hello everyone, I'm Nicole and welcome to The Lady's Place. Today I want to dive into the 10 most popular questions most people have when they are thinking about early retirement. So if you're interested in that, then no, not even if you're interested, you're going to listen. Before we get started, let me just welcome you guys to my humble abode here in Panama City, Panama. This is Avenida Balboa. And I am in the center of Panama City. And this down here is the famous Santa Costera. This is where we like to ride bikes, walk in the morning, walk our dogs, have picnics, you name it. And there are always vendors down there with refreshing cool drinks or fruit juices. Over here in this area, let me zoom in a little bit. You see all those ships? They are either going to or coming from the Panama Canal. So, now that you see where I've retired to, let's get to talking about it. Question number one, and of course these are in no particular order. First of all, what is early retirement? Early retirement is when you want to leave the workforce before the retirement age, which today I believe is 65 to 67. They are looking at increasing that to 70. Early retirement can be a dream to a lot of people, but there are some planning that needs to be done before retiring early. We'll get to that in a minute. Number two is how much money is needed to sustain your early retirement. Now, of course, this is a big one. And that answer is going to be based on your lifestyle, based on your expenses, and more importantly, where do you plan to live during your retirement? I know for me, living in the United States on my Social Security pension was not doable. So I moved to Panama City, Panama. Common rule is to have 25 times your expenses. Okay, so say you have a $40,000 a year expense, then you would need $1 million to sustain that type of living, that type of lifestyle. Do you have $1 million? How will I get insurance? Because of course, the moment you leave the workforce, or maybe not the actual moment, but once you leave the workforce, your employer is no longer required to offer you health insurance. And that is something we all need, especially as we are aging. Private insurance is going to be your next probably large expense, and I know it is for me. If you're retiring before the age of 65, Medicare, Medicaid does not kick in until then. So you'll need some form of insurance to make sure that you are still covered until you can close that gap. Number 4, what are some pros and cons of early retirement? Let's talk about the cons first. I like to end on a positive note. Cons can be your financial strain. Do you have the resources to retire early and to maintain your style of living for the next 10, 15, 20 years? That if you qualify for Social Security, you'll have to take a deduction. You'll only get a percentage of the 100% that you put in. And if you take it early, then that is what you're going to get for the remainder of your retirement. Of course, the cost of living will also elevate that as well, so you will get some increase, but you'll never get that 100% your Social Security benefits if you started early. They won't give you the 100% once you reach retirement age if you take it like I did. I took my husband's Social Security early when I turned 60. So that amount is what I will get as long as I stay on his plan. Of course, it increases every year because of cost of living expenses, but I don't get his 100% that I would qualify for if I waited until I was 65 or 67. Does that make sense? Okay, the next con would be boredom. We've been programmed to work our whole lives. I've been working since I was 16 years old. I stopped working at 55. I had the opportunity to travel with my husband, and I took it, and I'm so glad that I did. And I'm so glad that I had that opportunity to do that, because of course my husband passed 2 years after we returned back home from staying in California. And now I find myself with a lot of time on my hands. So if you are like me, I'm an introvert. So staying in my home and reading and playing games on my computer, on my phone, doing my YouTube videos, these are the things that I like to do. But it can get a little boring. And being so young, I'm only 62, I still feel like I can do more. I need to be doing something with my life. Now I'm getting into the pros, is that I can do what I want to do now. This is my time, and I can wake up later than I normally would. I can travel. I can visit with my family and my friends, those who are retired as well. And so if you retire early and they don't, who are you going to hang out with? So you make new friends. You have to make new friends. I have a video on me moving here to Panama. I'll link it somewhere in the video or in the description, so you can check out how I, an introvert, made new friends. Another pro for me was I became very active. I played tennis. I even went to sectionals, which if you're not a tennis player, if you're not familiar with tennis, that means that my group qualified to play as the #1 tennis team in our community. And so we were able to go to Orlando and play against other tennis teams that also qualified to play at the sectionals. It was so much fun. And so I love playing tennis. I love watching tennis. And I also am trying to learn how to invest. So I am teaching myself new skills. I think we're on number 5, and that is, how does retiring early affect your Social Security benefits? And we kind of touched on that, and that is, of course, the deduction that you will take when you retire early. You will, like I get 70% of my husband's pension. I qualify for a widow's pension, and I only get 70% of that pension because I took it early. I took it when I turned 60. Number 6, can you work part-time after retiring early? I find that a lot of people want to go back into the workforce. I know I did. Like I said, I retired at 55, okay? That was so early. So when we moved to California, I took on some technical support type of positions because that was my field. Maybe it was just because I was in California and they're a different breed there, but I could not stay in the workplace. The atmosphere was totally different than what I was used to, and I immediately regretted going back. That was just me. But many people supplement their income or just to have interaction with other people. Being a widow and an introvert, yeah, I needed to have some interaction with other people. And so my children suggested that I get a dog. This way I would have to get out of the house and walk the dog and maybe meet people. And that's what I did. I got a beautiful little Morkie, and her name is Mochi. And absolutely, when I started walking her, that's how I met my neighbors. That's how I became involved in tennis and pickleball and things of that nature. Now, number 7, how do I avoid running out of money? Don't be like me. I am surrounded by casinos here in Panama City, Panama, and I love it. I love going to the casinos, but they don't love me. Oh my goodness, I absolutely spend way too much in the casino. But what I do is I put money aside for that. And once that money is out, that's it, okay? Leave your credit cards at home. At least that's what I tell myself, to leave my credit cards at home so I am not tempted to dip into my savings or checking account to get more money to play with, all right? Make sure that you have a budget. My children are finance people. My son is an accountant. My daughter is a financial planner. They came up with this beautiful pivot table worksheet for my budget. Did I use it? I look at it every now and then, but I do fall off of it quite often. But you want to make sure that what you're spending isn't more than what you're bringing in, okay? So finance planning is key. If you need professional assistance with that, I would recommend getting someone to do your finances. Maybe if you're like me, my husband did pretty much everything dealing with our money, which is why I'm so bad at it. But there are a lot of apps out there that can help you budget your money and also alert you when you are about to overspend a certain bucket. That's the way I like to look at my budget. I have buckets of what I consider money buckets for my casino, money buckets for my spa days and my nails and things of that, money bucket for my bills, my rent, and then when my groceries. And if I'm close to that bucket, if I'm close to emptying that bucket, then I will get an alert. There are several apps you can download to help you maintain that budget. Number 8 is what to do with your time. Well, it's your time now. You can do with it whatever it is you want to do with it. Like I said, you can sleep in, you can go walk, you can go for walks, you can ride your bike. Here in Panama City, Panama, I live across the street from Santa Costera, and that is where I go to walk in the mornings, to ride bikes, or I live in a high-rise apartment here that has all the amenities that I need. They have a gym, they have 3 swimming pools, and one is on the very top floor and it's for adults only. I love it. And I also love traveling. I will be taking a cruise, a 7-day cruise real soon. And I'm so excited about it. So your time is your time. You do with it now whatever it is that you want to do with it within your budget. Number 9, this is one that is close and dear to my heart. How to handle unexpected expenses. Okay, you guys, I turned 62 in April. On May 1st, I was having a triple stent installed in my arteries, basically a triple bypass. But talk about an unexpected expense. I moved to Panama City, Panama, like I said, 2 years ago. I was on the Affordable Care Act with my insurance, and I don't know why I thought it would renew every year without me doing anything, but I learned the hard way that that wasn't the case. You have to re-up every year. Well, I did not, which means my insurance lapsed while I was here in Panama. And that means also that I'm here without insurance. For the most part, it was not a big deal because Panama healthcare system is so affordable that it was easy to pay out of pocket. It was easy for me to pay out of pocket. But when they said I needed a triple stent installment, yeah, that's about $35,000 to $40,000 out of pocket. Talk about having a heart attack. But thankfully, I came here to Panama with no expenses. All of my credit cards were zero balance. My house in Florida is paid off. And so I was able to afford to have the surgery done. The surgery done out of pocket. Didn't want to, but so make sure you have an emergency fund, at least six up to 6 months of your living expenses, and this will help to prepare you for any type of unexpected emergencies. And number 10, is early retirement right for me? Now, of course, that's a question only you can answer. It isn't for everyone. Like I said, you can get bored with all this time on your hands. You may not have $1 million, you know, to supplement your living expenses or your living style, your lifestyle. So make sure that you consider your goals. What do you want to do for the rest of your life? Your health. Make sure you have some kind of coverage, and also your financial situation. Those are the 10 most popular questions that people ask about early retirement, and I hope I was able to shed some light on how early retirement has been for me, and hopefully how it can be for you as well. Right planning and the right outlook on what early retirement would look like and is. It could be right for you, or it may not be. But it is something to think about, especially with Social Security money decreasing. And they are predicting that we will be out of money within the next decade. So if you want to tap into your Social Security money before that happens, okay, you may want to just go ahead and join us early retirees. And of course, look at living abroad, because living in the United States is so expensive. So that's all that I have for you guys. I hope it's helpful to you, and make sure you subscribe to my channel, leave me a thumb up, and comment in the comment section. And I will see you guys on my next video real soon. This is the lady signing off for now. Have a great day and make great things happen. Bye-bye. Hey, I hope you...